won't stop till I hear him say,
Warning. The information that we convey in these videos and the content on this page simply provides general consumer information. It is not legal advice or regulatory guidance. It is not intended to sway your personal bias in any way. We are simply just relaying information already available to the general public. We highly suggest you do your own research and draft your own opinion on the topics disclosed in this video breakdown. Without further ado, sit back, relax, enjoy this video breakdown, and if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, consider doing so now. Ladies and gentlemen, very powerful and intuitive breakdown today here for you all. Again, a couple of video displays that I have pieced together for you all. Pay attention, devils in the details, do your own personal research. Nothing that we constitute here, obviously, is financial advice. I'd like to start off by saying it is insane to think that the majority of the population is unaware that the elites have an agenda to transition our financial ecosystem to a digital economy by 2030. Regardless of what cryptocurrency you support, the transition is coming and the majority of people will miss out. That is 110% facts, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to the next tweet before we jump into the video display. Over the next 3 to 7 years, early crypto adopters that invest in utility and real-world use case cryptocurrencies will get to say that they participated in the biggest transfer of wealth in human history. Pay attention, the devil's in the details. Again, like I say on this YouTube channel all the time, I'm going to play some video snippets to you all, paying attention to key vocabulary, key phrases. We're going to piece it all together. I hope that you guys enjoy video breakdowns like this. If you do, make sure that you smash that thumbs up button and that you are subscribed to the channel. Without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy this video display.
Doug, thank you so much for being with us. As I was telling you offline, I feel pretty helpless given the world crisis we find ourselves in. And all I could do in my small little world is bring on experts like yourself to help make sense of what's going on.
Well, all I can tell you is that the experts know nothing, including myself. And a major reason for that is that basically all we know is what we hear from government-approved sources and the mass media, which are basically minions of the government, Truth is the first casualty. So don't believe anything.
So on that note, let's start with the latest developments here. I mentioned Saudi Arabia, and my main question to you is the US dollar in danger here?
Yes, well, it's been in increasing danger for decades, but now it's gotten to a critical level. Look, from the most basic point of view, the US government itself is bankrupt, terminally bankrupt. It can't dig itself out of the hole. In fact, it's digging the hole deeper.
So if the US dollar's role and dominance as reserve currency is coming to an end, I mean, what replaces it?
Well, that is a $64 question. Even the Chinese and the Russians, who are closer now than ever, do most of their trading, I understand, with US dollars, which is crazy. They have to clear those dollars through New York, the homeland of their enemy. You don't use the enemy's currency, for God's sake, or the adversary's currency, if you wish. It's best that they use a neutral currency, one that can't be inflated out of existence, one that can't be closed down at the discretion of some half-crazy pals in Washington, D.C.
With that key vocabulary word right there, neutral, I want to take your attention to a ripple.com website PDF. Very quick, interesting, intuitive breakdown for you all. The first neutral settlement infrastructure. Couldn't be a coincidence, right? Payment networks can minimize or eliminate many of the costs and risks of today's fragmented system by adopting the Ripple technology, a neutral settlement standard that serves as the foundational layer of a payments system. Let me go ahead and magnetize this for you all. Ripple is designed to be a neutral payments infrastructure, meaning it is a currency agnostic and, like an email and other standards, shows no preference to any country, jurisdiction, or system. As a neutral infrastructure, Ripple incorporates the existing messaging standards, governance, and rules of the networks that adopt the technology. Ripple does not replace or show preference for any existing networks. Rather, it is used by networks, banks, clearinghouses to enable increased efficiency and interoperability through a common platform.
It's best that they use a neutral currency, one that can't be inflated out of existence, one that can't. The U.S. government's figures are only marginally more reliable than those of the Argentine government, so don't trust them. Real inflation, the dollar's losing value around 15% per year. I think it's going to 20% and higher. But interest rates, banks will give you what? 0, 1, 2%. So no, there's something seriously wrong. I mean, this is why the world's financial system is teetering on a knife's edge.
Doug, why, would you not think that the next currency, instead of gold, wouldn't it be some sort of digital currency?
With this global reset that is about to take place, I want you all to take something into consideration. 1998, 2008, and ingredients like over-leveraged derivatives and reliance on obsolete risk models, and that lessons are being ignored again. Lessons that we should have learned from 1998 and 2008, and the people that run our financial ecosystem are not taking into accountability. The next catastrophe will be exponentially larger than the last two. The countdown has already begun to the 2030 Great Reset. Pay attention. Great Reset.
Or if they see a bit of despair coming, then you see it in the market today. And right now, the markets are down enormously. I guess we haven't seen today yet, about 23% for the year. And I don't think that that's, anywhere close to the bottom because the Fed is going to continue to raise interest rates and the White House is going to continue to be in denial. I absolutely think that President Biden should be looking at the markets. He should be thinking about why the markets are rejecting his policies. And then he should think about adjusting those policies. And until he does, then I don't really think we're going to see a bottom.
On September 10th, I tweeted out to you all the Federal Reserve policy stance will turn around in the next 3 to 6 months. Cryptos will pop, watch one more rate hike, then we will switch up and slam on the brakes. Get your bags ready because 2023 will be a year to remember for utility-driven assets in this liquidity crisis.
You believe the Fed will maybe pivot relatively soon. You said that they might pivot by midterm elections. I'll let you elaborate on that.
Well, I think I don't know if we have already seen peak hawkishness.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think we're getting closer to this point when they will have to pivot. However, I think it's naive that many market participants think that there will be the big U-turn and the Federal Reserve will end tightening, will start QE again, aggressively lower rates. That's not going to happen. Yeah. First of all, this reverse wealth effect that the Federal Reserve wants to orchestrate. This reverse wealth effect that the Federal Reserve wants to orchestrate. So basically, bringing capital markets down, and this should have an impact on demand, and therefore they try to get inflation numbers down. So they want to orchestrate a mild recession, which is, from my point of view, in theory, it sounds fantastic. Yeah, in practice, it's just not going to work out because I think they kind of underestimate the time lags and the complexity of our economy. So we're seeing massive asset price deflation. I said 50 trillion.
Yes.
Equities, bonds, starting with real estate now. Other more illiquid pockets of the market like private equity are starting. Crypto in a huge bear market.
We talked about inflation. Last point, you mentioned crypto assets stole the show from gold. You have a chapter in your book entitled Bitcoin. I think you mentioned that Bitcoin price is in the bear market. Well, you're right. I mean, it has been. Tell me about your outlook for Bitcoin.
Well, I think that the level of innovation happening in this space, and what's really going on. And I have to say, when I attend like those Bitcoin events, the energy is a little bit different compared to let's say the gold industry and the mining industry. It's really buzzing. It's positive. People see opportunities, and the real Bitcoiners don't care about the price. Yeah. They're in for the long term. And actually, I talked to some crypto millionaires over here that kind of intuitively understand gold, and they say, well, we're switching a little bit of money now into the gold space, into the mining space, which I thought was really interesting. Yeah. But I think, the last couple of months have shown that, the wheat is separated from the chaff. I think many crypto projects that are rubbish, they're just getting wiped out of the market, which is healthy, which is normal in a bear market. And I'm not concerned regarding Bitcoin. I think that, as I've said in our last interview, it's quite binary. If Bitcoin should still be around in 5 or 10 years, it will be significantly higher.
So you're really doing this well, by the way. This is fantastic. It's like you read my notes. So let's talk about that. You have one of my favorite lines, blockchain tourists. I love that. I love that comment. Yeah. What do you mean by blockchain tourists?
I have seen, having been doing this for almost 3 years now, there's a lot of companies that come along and they're just kicking the tires. Which is okay. It's okay. Yeah, I was quoted saying that. I did say it, and I'll say it again. But it's not intended to be as derogatory, maybe, as it came across. Which is, look, I think people should experiment around blockchain. The demarcation I'm really trying to make is Ripple has had the good fortune of having real customers touching production systems, moving real value, not sandboxes, experiments, and tests.
Not theory.
Yeah, this isn't a white paper, right? And to take the most extreme example, and there are some that
we can go.
so to me, blockchain tourists are people who, look, they're really interested in the space. They're learning about the space. They're kicking the tires. The good news for Ripple is we have a lot of demand that aren't blockchain tourists.
Right.
They are, seasoned travel veterans that know what they're trying to solve, and they're trying to solve a real problem. And we want to spend our time with that segment because, although we've grown our headcount a lot this year, we continue to have more demand than really we can handle quickly.
Right, which is a good problem.
That feels kind of mainstream to me. Now, I think when we're talking about mainstream, we're also, when people say that, I think, oh, you mean in terms of like use cases and utility and actually solving problems, and it's not just speculation. And that, I think, obviously, it's a journey. Now, if you compare the chart of like internet adoption to crypto adoption, you actually see it on a very similar curve. So part of my optimism about what's happening despite the current downturn is, like, if you step back and look at the big picture, Webvan went away, pets.com went away. That doesn't mean that those technologies haven't been profound and changed society in lots of ways. And I think the same is true in crypto and blockchain. We're just seeing that journey. And sometimes the hype gets ahead of the reality. Then you have a reset, have a reset.
Pay attention. Great reset.
We clearly have been ahead of the reality. Then you have a reset. We clearly have been seeing that the last few weeks. But I think, mainstream is, in the eye of the beholder. The only country in the world that considers XRP, the digital asset that Ripple uses in our technology stack, the only country in the world that thinks XRP could be a security is the United States. We work successfully in the UK, in Switzerland, in Japan, in the UAE, in Singapore. All of these countries have acknowledged XRP as a currency because that's how it's used.
With that video display being said, I want to take your attention to this very last tweet that I have to share with you all. And I said, Ripple does not seek to bypass the existing financial system. Key executives like Brad Garlinghouse have stated that they are determined to work with the system. Therefore, Ripple is attempting to plug into the current system by complementing it with faster, more transparent, and more cost-effective enterprise-grade solutions. Why will XRP and XRPL work? Easy answer. Because XRP can strengthen our entire current financial operating system. The way our current financial system works, the banks must always win. With that being said, Ripple executives and the team backing the technology realize something important about our current system. Most cryptocurrency projects start with big claims about disrupting finance. This is short-lived when the cryptocurrency companies realize the current system is deeply rooted. So instead of trying to disrupt our current system, Ripple technology will work because they are attempting to upgrade the current system, not work against the current system. This is the secret as to why, since Ripple's inception, year after year, they continue to grow and prosper. The statistics show amazing growth. The banks like XRP and XRPL because they all know and agree that Ripple tech is 100% an improvement compared to their current technology. Ladies and gentlemen, smash that thumbs up button again. Nothing that we constitute here is financial advice. I hope that you guys enjoyed this intuitive video breakdown, keywords, key vocabulary, paying attention to the macroeconomic backdrop. As always, be cognizant, do your own personal research, be aware, and I will see you guys in the next YouTube video breakdown.
Won't stop till I hear him say